Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to start the top interview 150 series from LeetCode, and today we will be picking the very first merge sorted array, which is an easy array problem from LeetCode. So the number is 188, which is also merge sorted array. The link I will be sharing in the description. So in this we are given two integer array, num1 and num2, which is sorted in non-decreasing order, and two integers m and are also given, which are representing the length of the array. Like the length is the basically the number of elements in num1 and num2 array. So the ask is to merge the num1 and num2 into a single array, which is sorted in non-decreasing order. Okay, and the final sorted array should not be returned by the function, but instead be sorted in the num1. To accommodate this, okay, so num1 has a length of m plus n, and m is the length of the characters which should be merged, and the n is the characters which are set to 0. Okay, these are placeholders. Okay, so let's go to the example. So in this we are given num1 and num2. So m equal to 3, n equal to 3. So for in n1 we are having three characters which is 1, 2, 3, and these are just a placeholder for num2. And for num2 we are having n equal to 3, so three characters 2, 5, 6. Okay, so we need to merge this num1 and num2 and to also fill these placeholders with the actual amount number. Okay, so how do we proceed with it? So let's try with the simple approach. Let's do the comparison, and let's compare with the 1 and 2. Okay, 2 is greater, so we proceed. 2 and 2 are equal, so let's proceed. Now 3 is less. 3 is greater than the 2. So how do we do it? So should we swap it? Then it becomes 2 and 3. So if we swap it, so there are consequences. So one is, let's say this element is greater than the value, like let's assume it's 7, and the 7 is greater than 5 and 6 also. So should we swap just directly with this element? No, right? Then we need to check all the elements in this array, and that will be like bigger condition. So we will be discarding this. So should we proceed this 3 with one more element? Then let's assume that there are multiple elements. So we need to swap every element with by one position. So this is also not feasible. So sorting by ascending is not feasible. So how do we proceed? Okay, so let's take the help of these three placeholders. So since the length of this placeholder is equal to num2, so what we can do is, so let's take the last element. So what should be there? The greater of the last element in num1 and num2, which are basically between 3 and 6. So we can replace it directly with 6. So, and similarly, then we decrease the value. Then we compare it with 3 and 5 to substitute the value with 5. Then we check with 3 and 2, so we substitute the value with 3. Now, at this place, should we do it 0? It doesn't matter if we do it or not. So since the current position is this and I is this, so anyway we will be comparing with this 2 only. So 2 is 2, so we will be substituting this value with 2. Now this becomes 0. So now this becomes 0, so we can directly write these elements. So length becomes this and m becomes this. So we can directly write on the num1 array. And in this, so we are merging a list having one element with list having zero elements, so the result will be the list having one element. And similarly in this we will be just writing the elements of the num2. And these are some constraint. Length is m plus n, and these are between 200 and 200. Values can be anything, and so we need to do it in big of m and approach. Okay, so let's proceed. So what's our approach will be to substitute the value based on the last index of the arrays. And then we are going to substitute this value with the 0 which is present at the last of the num1 array. So how do we proceed? So there are three things which we do. First is we create the variable, then we do something like transformation, then we write and use cases. Okay, so to declare these variables, this like array is starting from zeroth index. I hope everyone knows that. So what we do is we take the current value, which is m plus n. And since it's starting from the zeroth index, so we will be substituting one value. Similarly, to point it at the last value, we will be subtracting 1. Similarly, from n, we will be subtracting 1. So we have done this. Now let's check the transformation. So let's take the while loop. We are not taking the for loop because for for loop we have to then use say, multiple break statements, which we don't want to do. So to keep our code from getting messier, we are just taking the while loop. Now the condition is while m is greater than equal to 0. So to check that we doesn't go the out of bound like negative indexes. So we will be just checking if these are just positive values, then we will be proceeding. Now just we need to check if nums of 1 at mth index. So let's take m for nums 1 and n for nums 2 is greater than nums 2 of n. So what we do is we take the nums 1 and the current value, we subtract it. So this will do first it will assign the value and then it will subtract the value of the current value. We will do nums1 since num1 is value is greater, so we will just put the value of nums1 in the current vertex. Similarly, else what we do it the opposite thing. So if nums value is not greater than nums2, so we will just put the nums2 value. So this is the transformation. We are checking if m either of the array index is greater than 0. Then we check if the num1 array element is greater than the num2 element. Then we will be just putting the num1 element. Else we will be putting the num2 element. Now to do the end user traces. So let's say while the second element is still not becomes 0. So just we will put this condition. Now we will put all the elements into the num1 elements. So we are not going to check for the num1 condition because as we have seen, let's just take this condition. So we have put 2 here. So it will be 6, then 5, then 3, and then 2. Num2 becomes 0. So do we really need to put all these elements back to a num1? No, right? Because they are already present. So just we will be just checking for the num2. So let's run this. And that's submit. So that's all for the current video. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Let's see you everyone in the next video.